All right, let me give you the top MLB plays for today so that you don't have to worry about so much about the stack here on the 20th of June, but you can get right to the must plays. And those would include here David Price. If you want to take this rookie pitcher, from what I understand, doing well, although, yeah, he's just had one game, so hopefully, he does well again versus Seattle. If you want to take more of a risk there, that's fine. In tournament, perhaps. Um, Arenado must play if you can afford him. If not, obviously, like if you're playing this guy, Jonathan, I can't say his last name, 6,200, you can afford him. Also, was there anyone else here? Brandon Nimmo, pretty much a must-play batting first. He can even get a home run for you tonight on a shorter slate, but there's still a lot of options, even though there's a rainy game here, concern here or there, including the, I don't recall which game it was, Washington-Baltimore game, possibly, but more likely, well, even the Colorado Mets game itself, but then most likely the Pittsburgh game. Yeah, Milwaukee-Pittsburgh. So just be, of course, careful in watching those games. Anthony Rendon, good possibility to also get a home run today, I believe, as an 823 OPS versus Cashner. That's great. Negative 11 for Cashner. And, but, well, it's not really that much of an advantage here, but it's still a good enough play here on a more limited slate like this. And then Carlos Gonzalez, if you want to go with the Rockies. But I kind of have a feeling that really the pitcher they're facing, the Mets pitcher is not really bad. So it kind of, there's all kinds of options, ways to go. It just depends on how you feel about certain guys and scenarios. I listen to a lot of podcasts all day and listen to, as is more effective for me, instead of researching guys through Fangraphs, things like that, because I get a lot of positive feedback that way. In a real-world scenario like Seth Lugo, he's not a bad pitcher. He doesn't have a particular platoon weakness or anything like that. So if you can keep the Rockies under control, which is a possibility here, I just want to look at my notes actually for a minute on him because there was something I really liked about him. For Lugo, you actually was one piece, something about his slider or changeup. I believe it was similar to Corey Kluber. So I just want to give you that random tip there for now, but go in position by position as I will do real quick. You can go with Boston guys, but higher price, the 3,600. Bird is a popular play. I believe the chalk of the day, and it should be. He's roundabout, expected to be that. McCann also is going to be a popular, probably second most popular play at that position. As I will tell you, some of the more watched people who at least use this tool, as a lot of people do now, of course, as you can watch the draft that dashboard actual videos, the official videos there, and you can just go over there and make comments. And there's another tip there: you can get $50 just for leaving a like and a comment, because they'll make a drawing for that and send it to your PayPal. So check that out, because he shows usually the infield of the lineup, but I'm going to get a little bit faster here going to the outfield actually, just so you can get an idea at least from there, as it doesn't usually cover that. But so the top plays, I'm just waiting on that to come up. But some of the, really a lot of different directions to go, as I mentioned, that you can go with. Probably the top play is still Aaron Judge facing Felix Hernandez. So as also a platoon advantage there. Well, yeah, really, plus 21% OPS advantage for Aaron Judge. So then you got Nimmo, as I mentioned. Just be careful it doesn't rain there. Adam Eaton is a very good play. Maybe you can stack the Nationals as one of the few stackable teams, and on a 3 or 4 man, even a full stack. Adam Meadows is hurt right now, but he's confirmed he's healthy and playing, batting second at a pretty good price, 3,200. You could put him in there, and also Carlos Gonzalez as well as Juan Soto, the potential superstar in making here right now, with a 1.013 OPS. And then you could even look at Haniger for Seattle. This is going to be not as much played at all, Nobody's looking to play these Seattle guys right now versus the Yankees and that young pitcher. So that's another way you could go in tournaments, try to stack Seattle, I believe, with a plus 97 percent. That really matters so much. But he's much better. Haniger is versus the righties. So that's a good solid play. And then Benintendi, you could go with as well as Conforto if you want to look at, if you can afford, that is, Boston, and the Mets are high implied point total for the day. So just want to leave you with that info there to get you going for tonight, and hope you make it best of it. If you want to get this and look at all the position breakdowns, as this is all you really need to make some good cash plays. But as for tournaments, really, they get more complicated and a lot of different other factors come into it. Well, like I mentioned, that pitcher who is not highly rated on here. Although, however, you want to make sure you get at least a couple guys in your lineup that are not as played. Oh, and I was going to show you before I go, the top players today most watched, at least as far as people goes. Let's say, 10% of the people who play DFS actually use this, let's say, which is possible. These are your top watched plays right here. So most likely going to be in a 10 to 50% of lineups and on up, because like Kluber was played earlier, but in the day, Price is going to be highly owned. Michael Brantley was highly owned earlier, in fact. Actually, I can check that for you just so you can see real quick. Give me a moment. And currently going on right now, just to show you how that works. The current score is going on right now as the most watched. Of course, this makes sense, as Kluber earlier in the day was about 80% owned. Yeah, that's off my memory. And then David Price, if I can find him on somebody's lineup, just trying to pick out somebody's. That obviously didn't leave. Well, that's later on in the day, David Price. So he's going to be highly owned, not 80%, but could be around 50% owned. And Michael Brantley, I had him in one of my lineups. Let's see, he was only 4% owned, even though he was highly watched here. So that gives you a good idea. And he's in the bottom of the 8th. Has 6.2 points, so that's okay. Lenois Martin, I have him in one of my lineups at 32% owned. He's one of the most watched players here. Batting first, I picked him, but he hasn't scored any points yet, and that's a final in Detroit, actually at Cincinnati. So I want to give you those examples, hopefully help you see how these things work, to really show you some kind of idea, getting a feel for now who are the highly most owned players and guys you could potentially stay away from if it comes down to evaluating, comparing to another player who's going to be much higher owned, and try to take the low owned player. All right, so glad you watched this, and take care. And have a go. Also, click at the link in the description of watching this so that you can pick up this draft dashboard tool as well. All right, thank you.